So I don't know if you're like me. I'm sure you've had many a day that just seemed like the worst day ever. And I just recently had one of those days where I woke up a little late. I felt like I was rushing around, but then one thing after the next just kept spiraling out of control. My purse was stolen from my car, which totally sent me in a tailspin of going, okay, what was even in it? What did I lose? I lost my favorite sunglasses. I got to cancel credit cards, all of which was doable, but it really did seem challenging. And then other things, clients telling me, they weren't happy with certain aspects or whatever, kind of giving me a hard time. Hard conversations throughout the day. I had a friend tell me that she recently was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so this day just felt like it was spiraling. And one thing after the next, I was behind the slowest driver trying to rush to an appointment. And it just kept happening. Bills coming in that I wasn't expecting. Again, one thing after the next that I was just like, God, could this day get any worse? And I know we can all relate to that, where we all do have harder days than others. And so what I want to talk to you today about is not just reaching for the bottle of vino at noon, although trust me, I've had many a day where I've thought about doing that, knowing that would only just get me a nice pounding headache. But really how to go through life and go through those days, but instead of making shit happen, have that be a shift happen. And so I want to talk to you about basic things that I do when I'm in that downward spiral where I feel like life is just getting the best of me and beating me up pretty good. So first, what I do, step one, is I acknowledge what's happening. So I have to really bring awareness to my mind that, okay, Liz, you're having one of these days. You need to pay attention, because if you just let it go, you're going to really lose control. And so I acknowledge what's happening. I give myself some breathing room, or maybe I, create a little bit more space or patience in my day to be able to get through it and not kill myself to do it. So acknowledgement is step one, really bringing that conscious mind to the issue and to your day, okay? So that's first and foremost. When we bring conscious behavior to our life, it's amazing how easy it is to make shifts happen. And that's what today is all about. Then the second thing I really do is I tap into what's going on, all the downward spirals. So the first thing was waking up late. Then I got behind slow traffic on the way to work. Then one of my appointments was late and just kept then I got yelled at by a ridiculous situation. Then, my purse I figured out got stolen out of my car. Then I got in a fight with my boyfriend. Just all this stuff kept coming. And so then the step two, after I acknowledged that, yeah, you're having a hard day, Liz, then I said to myself, okay, what in this is really my trigger? What's really bothering me with all of this? Because the underroot cause of all of this spiraling out of control was exactly that. I felt like my life had taken on this turbo speed pace to it that I wasn't comfortable with. And so I felt like things were coming at me that I didn't have control over. So just by looking at and asking the question, what is really going on here and what's really upsetting to me, it allowed me to tap into my emotional state around all of it and why it felt like a hard day, even though some of the things that were coming at me weren't that big of a deal, like getting behind the slowest person on Highway 6. I mean, it genuinely was the slowest person. Any other day, that may not have triggered me, but today I was already in a emotional state. So I had to look at why that was all bothering me. And for me, it was that my life felt out of control, that I didn't have the balance point that I like to try to keep, and that I wasn't giving myself space to get myself back to kind of a even tone balance. So really acknowledging what the key trigger is for you will also help dictate how severe the situation is, how you're reacting to it, and what you can really neutralize in your mindset. Because your mind is what we have control over, right? We do get to choose that as we're going through hard moments. Then the third thing is to finally ask yourself, what are your options here? What do you have control over Maybe it's your attitude, maybe it's a situation, but what do you have as options to change the situation? So how can you make lemonade? Where's the rainbow at the end of the storm, right? So how can you turn a bad situation into a better ending of your day? And so that's when I would immediately suggest you reach for the bottle of vino. Just kidding. But I would have you think about, like, how could you reassess this and really allow yourself to, sorry, it's getting windy here and my camera's getting ready to blow. How could you really assess this and make this a better opportunity, turn it around, or at least in your day in a nice, joyful way? So for me, what I decided to do on this bad day, even though I wanted to crawl under the covers with a bottle of vino, I decided to go surround myself with like-minded people that I knew that could bring my vibrational energy up. And so I chose to go do a meditative yoga class. And that's where I've been. And I can honestly say it completely changed everything about my day. And even though the memory of today was not my favorite, I'm so bummed that a lot of the things happened today, still dealing with a stolen wallet. But which I had to negotiate through yoga, of saying, I promise I'll pay you as soon as I can get some money. But you know, really tapping into what I needed to get myself back into the rhythm of balance. That's what I did, and surrounded myself with people that I knew could lift me up, even in the darkest of moments. So there are moments in your life that are going to be hard and challenging. We all have those days that you're just like, seriously, thank goodness it's only a 24-hour period. But I want you to think, instead of letting shit happen to you, let shift happen and really make a difference by changing your attitude, changing the way you're looking at things, acknowledging what you're going through, and then see if you can make that shift in your life. I wish you luck with it. It takes practice, I promise. This one is a little challenging, but I do believe you can do it. So enjoy, look forward to hearing from you on LizTV, and we'll see you right back here again next week. In the meantime, have a beautiful week and live a life of health, happiness, and abundance.